Well, I am thrilled to have Cory Lockhart on the Zoom line. Cory is an instructor with the Earth and Spirit Center, and she is an expert in nonviolent communication. So, Cory, welcome to our little video blurb here. And we'd love to hear a little bit about your background in a sentence or two, and then let's jump into nonviolent communication.
Yeah, so I'm Cory Lockhart. I teach nonviolent communication, facilitate using that modality, and also teach on nonviolence and compassion, and do a few other things. But that's my focus right now is on nonviolent communication.
Wonderful. Well, you are a person made for our times, because I think we are in one of the most divisive, polarized moments of certainly of my lifetime or recent memory. And so I think that the skills that you have to bring to bear in a time like this, when there's so much need for healing and reconciliation, they are really important. And I'm intrigued by this phrase, nonviolent communication, because I can't remember a recent conversation when I reached out and decked someone. I didn't think that any of my communications were violent, but I'm sure you mean something different by that. So what is nonviolent communication? I assume it is something that takes place far from a boxing ring. And yet it seems like something of great import for our time. So what is it, and how can we benefit from it?
Yeah, so when we're talking about nonviolent communication, and I also use the term compassionate communication, as do other practitioners, or NVC to make it short, what we're talking about is ways to communicate that get us beneath messages of shame, blame, judgment, and criticism. When we think about the divisiveness of our time, really that's what's going on a public level. In private conversations, we have shame, blame, judgment, and criticism.
So not physical violence, but like emotional violence of a sort.
Exactly, emotional,
okay.
verbal violence. And so nonviolent communication gives us tools to get beneath what's going on in our head, which is where that shame, blame, judgment, and criticism comes from, into our heart space. And I also talk about our gut space. So really identifying or coming to a place where we can connect in our full humanity. And that
right, kind of bringing your whole self to the conversation, it sounds like.
Exactly. Yeah. So we're not shying away from the conflict, but engaging with it from a greater place of connection, both self-connection and then in at least with the spirit and desire of connection with the other person or other people.
Yeah, that sounds like amazingly good fence mending work. I know that in my own family that's much needed these days, and my extended family, and across our culture that's probably pretty universal. So, Cory, tell us what you've got upcoming that can help folks dive into this brave world of NVC.
Yeah, so on Wednesday, February 3rd, from 7 to 9 at the Earth and Spirit Center, I will be leading my workshop, Communicating Across Divides. It's a 2-hour workshop. The 2 hours goes really fast. I will give some grounding and framework of nonviolent communication, and then we'll jump into practice. First with me modeling some of these skills, giving us time really to identify what are the tools, what are the strategies that we can use to communicate from a place of greater connection, and also really coming at it from a place of discernment of, is this conversation even worth my time and energy?
Oh yeah. Sounds like even in 2 hours, people can walk away with a set of tools that could serve them well. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And what I really try to emphasize too is that, like meditation, like any other practice, this really is a practice.
Right.
And so I really emphasize the idea of it being a practice, the idea of engaging our curiosity, and also the idea of experimenting. Because every conversation, even if we've had a similar conversation before, we've never had this exact conversation. So how can we experiment with it, trying out these tools?
Fantastic. Okay, so to find that course, just go to our website, www.earthandspiritcenter.org, click on the programs tab, and then click on other programs, and you should see that there. And Cory, you also do teaching independently, and you have your own website. So if one wants to learn more about you yourself and your work and upcoming offerings, how do we find you?
Yeah, so my website is corylockhart.com. So that's CORYLOCKHART.com. And there you can see the classes that I teach, the workshops that I teach, and other offerings that I have.
Wonderful. Well, Cory, I'm so excited that you have brought this good work to the world and that we're able to share it with your help. And that so I look forward to seeing you next week on Zoom, Wednesday, February 3rd, 7 to 9 p.m. There's still time to sign up. Thank you and be well.
Thank you.